Hello, everyone. This is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope you are doing well. Well, tonight's live stream is going to be on the Minnesota fraud that's going on. That is, other states are being implicated now too. But we're going to talk about that. And could we possibly have where citizens take their states back? Instead of trying to take over take our federal government back, we could always take our states back and take any power away from the federal government, kind of dissolve it. But anyway, is that what's going to happen first? Where people are going to rise up in states and take their states' governments back? That's what we're going to discuss. But anyway, I tell you what, I got to wait for a few people to show up. So I want to sit there. I tell you what, I was feeling pretty feisty today. I put some shorts on that I know, may have smoked a couple AI algorithm chips, but I don't really care. All I do is watch the shorts. Hey, J99, how's it going? Yeah, those shorts that I showed you today that I put a lot of them on, those were from a year and a half ago from my other channel. You could tell the background was different. I looked even younger from back then. But yeah, has anything changed? Not a fucking thing has changed. That's why I felt so feisty today over the shit. Because not a thing's gotten better, everything's gotten worse. So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Yeah, they were great. YouTube didn't like them. No. See, this is the thing. YouTube, you get these people that say, well, you got to sit there and put this switch on this and whatever. No, it's not, okay? You can see by the shorts I put on what the algorithm censors and what they doesn't censor, okay? And they use this excuse, well, the algorithm's trying to figure out where your audience is, and after over 900,000 views, 1,500 videos, YouTube algorithm is so freaking stupid, it don't even know who my audience is yet? And we're supposed to say that AI is all powerful and smart? No. It is, it may be in the special education class. A computer will never outthink a human being. It'll never happen. Because a computer can't take in all the inputs that a human being takes in. Anyway, but yeah, the AI algorithm doesn't like them. But I think I am finding a way around them. And those ones that didn't do so hot today, I'll delete them. And I'll put them right back on tomorrow. Fresh new batch. Okay? Even the one with the horses, they don't even like that. Boy, when I get shut down, I get shut down. Because they don't want anybody hearing the truth. But anyway, let's get into the subject matter. Minnesota and the fraud. Boy, I tell you what, I'm so glad I got out of that state. So glad, so glad, so glad. I call my kids now and stuff, and people I know there be like, yeah, I love hearing about Minnesota in the news. But anyway, yeah, all this fraud going on, we've known about it. But I tell you what, with these Somalians in Minnesota, living with them and having to I had to deal with one. One called the cops on me once when I lived there. One Somalian, I was in a hotel, and my dog was barking a little bit. She called the cops. They don't like dogs. And I got treated like a fucking criminal because she was losing her goddamn sleep. I bet you're glad not to be there. Of course I'm not to be there. I wish I could talk my kids to getting out of there. I will not go back to Minnesota. I tell them, you're going to have to come see me. I will not go back to that communist state. The thing is, J99, you remember the Cold War, East Berlin and East Germany? That's what it's like going into. Last thing I need to do is get pulled over by some 21-year-old who's probably not even illegal as a state trooper, and I give him a little guff, and it takes me 5 years to get out of that frickin' state. But anyway, let's talk about the fraud. Anybody see that Nick Shirley video that's going around? 50 million views, you've probably seen it. How you got these buildings full of healthcare providers that don't provide healthcare, where you got these daycares that are authorized to hold up to 120 kids? Has anybody ever seen a daycare the size of a small private school? No kids there ever. You know, and they sit there, knock on these doors, and they're showing them how much money, millions of dollars they got. All this fraud. A YouTuber. Where the hell are the cops? Oh, yeah, that's right. The cops did get called. And they got told to get off the property because they were harassing these people. You know what? That fucking cop, that Minneapolis cop with the beard, you're a fucking fag. Okay? And you need to go to prison with the rest of them. Enabling her. You can see the crime. If you can't see the scam and crime all the fuck around you, and you got to pick on a law-abiding citizen that's trying to expose it, why are you a cop? If you're that fucking blind, why are you a cop? But no, that citizen trying to expose a fraud. I mean, we're talking billions of dollars in many states. Many states. You know, this is going to come into the hundreds of billions of dollars. And where's the money going to? Oh, some of it's going to Somalian terrorist groups. I thought it was against the law to financially support a terrorist group. So the Minnesota taxpayers are basically breaking the law now, aren't you? All Minnesotans need to be arrested for supporting terrorist groups, since we can't arrest Tim Walz, right? And what about that guy who's in Minnesota that went on that Democrat that decided to start shooting Democrat lawmakers and their families? Oh, yeah, he was connected. His job was helping Somalians make it so they're comfortable here, so they can assimilate, as they say, right? That was his job. Everybody remember that? And then he said something about, after he got caught, that Tim Walz hired him and wanted him to kill Amy Klobuchar too, so when he couldn't run for governor no more, he could become senator in Minnesota. I mean, this is a guy that almost became vice president, along with the scumbag piece of shit presidential candidate. And all I got to say is, all you Democrats that are having a great time with the troubles the Republicans are having, which they deserve, okay? And I'm not saying he's doing the country good, but you're going to sit there and back Kamala Harris still and Tim Walz and say they would have been a good choice? All this fraud is bullshit. These fucking Somalians. And I'm going to say it that way because, like I say, my kids live up in the Brainerd area. But I'm from small farm town, southern Minnesota, southwestern Minnesota. You know, Walnut Grove, Sleepy Eye, Mankato, that area, farmland. And they've taken over there. Redwood Falls, the county seat for Redwood County, the county that Walnut Grove's in, has been taken over by Somalians. The county seat, Redwood Falls City Council, where you can't say nothing to these people. I mean, even the Indian reservation in Redwood. No respect. The white people and the Indians in Redwood Falls get absolutely treated like shit. I mean, if your window tint is darker than a cloudy light day, you're getting pulled over. But if a Somalian has it so fucking black that you can't even see through them, they're fine. They don't get pulled over. Oh, just like those daycare businesses, blacked out windows. Since the fucking when is that legal? Where are the cops at this? Where's the investigation? And Trump goes, now, oh, there's gonna be arrests. Really? Is Tim Walz gonna be arrested? Are you gonna arrest yourself, Trump? As a Minnesota citizen, I know a lot of them that are pissed off. A lot of gun owners, too. Even like my old boss, if he's watching. Derek, why don't you guys be men and do something about it and stop saying you lost your guns in a boating accident? So sick of these fucking fags that won't do shit. Walk around acting big, but they ain't shit. What are you going to do about your state? How much money did you lose, Derek, to these fucking Somalians? Like I say, all Minnesota residents now that pay taxes are contributing, they're financially supporting terrorist organizations. So what's that tell you? Sounds like every Minnesota resident, according to the law, needs to be arrested, or we can arrest Tim Walz and all the fucking criminals on down. This is where it comes to, people. I figured out a way where we can have a revolution or get our country back without even fucking messing with the federal government. Don't have to mess with them at all. And how do we do that? How can we sit there and defeat the federal government without even fighting it? It's simple, people. Where does the federal government get its power? Besides the people, the states. The United States is what gives our federal government power. So if we start we're citizens of a state like Minnesota, it'd be a good one. And I saw a thing too, with all the fucking Somalia fraud in Minnesota. How are we going to just think of the voter fraud that's been going on there, right? Oh yeah, wonder why the Democrats have been in charge of Minnesota all this time. All I ever lived in Minnesota was in conservative areas. Actually, the last county I lived in there was the reddest county in the state. Like, say, stand up, man. Time to sit there and march on St. Paul. Not D.C., but march on St. Paul. Take your fucking state back. Take your state back. What's the federal government going to do? They really can't do nothing. They can't interfere with states' issues now, can they? Because it's not over the border. So Minnesota residents, you can take your fucking state back. And if the guy, what kind of police force are you going to be facing? Can't Minnesota guys are armed to the teeth. You're going to be, okay? And I know there's lots of cops in Minnesota that would be right behind the law-abiding citizens taking their state back. But take your state backs. Kids are probably afraid you'll show up to the daycare and they're hiding. Whatever. Somebody who wants to ensure you to have a nice, a life of freedom is dangerous to you. That's dangerous to you. You mean a United States Marine who's here to serve and defend you is a danger to you because he believes in freedom? This is a sickness in this world. And then you get these fucking Somalians that get on TikTok and shit threatening us. We came here they're meant it. They came here to invade. They came here to take over. They came here to sit there and take advantage to the empathy of fucking moronic liberals. I mean, you liberals that are supporting all this, who do you think the first ones are going to take out? Useful idiots is all you're being. Semper Fi Marine from the U.S. Navy vet. Hey, I was on the USS Guadalcanal, the USS Austin. Did a couple Mad into the Indian Ocean cruises. Got my cruise jacket, my Liberty cuffs and stuff. Oh, yeah. Hey, Sonny, how's it doing? Yeah, I tell you what, I'm hot today. I was festive. I was very feisty today. Okay, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this lying ass shit. Like I say this, our tax dollars went to support terrorist groups in Somalia. This is crazy. That's treason. I mean, if I were to donate $1 to somebody that I don't agree with terrorists, but let's say the government decided to make a terrorist group 2 days after I donated them to, I would be arrested. Fuck, it's time to start taking our states back. California, there's one. March on your state capital, show Newsom out on his ass. Once the American people start standing up to all this shit, and like I say, we do it state by state. We start taking our states back. Okay? I mean, in Minnesota, they even changed got a different flag. Didn't get rid of the Minnesota flag, but added one. Take our states back. The federal government has no power if we don't, I mean, go to 50 separate countries. 50 separate countries if we have to at first. Take over Minnesota and say, fuck you, get out of my area. We'll do it on our own. Yeah, we'll struggle, but we'll get it out on our own. Starts taking our states back. Like, was the federal government going to sit there and fight a war against rebels in all 50 states? I mean, see, this is the thing. Taking your states back is going to be a lot faster, a lot easier, and probably with no bloodshed than it would be the federal government. Flat out. If you had 100,000 Minnesotans just march on St. Paul, go into the Capitol, grab these fucking people by the hair, the collar, and the fucking belt, and throw them out there. Crooked ass sons of bitches. You know, Minnesota, what when that one comedian, what was his name? Ugly as fuck. Anyway, he got elected, he got senator because they found a bunch of vet ballots in somebody's truck. What was it, 2 weeks after the election? He had to sit there and resign in disgrace. I can't remember what his name was. Barney Frank starts coming by, but I know that's not it. Anybody who remember who I'm talking about, that goofy, you can see your ignorance, all that. Well, I'm glad you think that. I'm glad you think that, okay? Because only an ignorant son of a bitch would say that. I'm glad you can see all what you say is the bad in me. Why don't you check out some of my other contents there, Mr. Smartass? I love how these people get on here for 30 seconds, and all of a sudden they know everything about me. They watch 30 seconds of my what? Hundreds of hours of fucking content, and they know everything about me. Beat me to it. Yeah, well, you know what? This is what we're going to get. This is why I know I'm over the target. Have you noticed J99 and stuff that the trolls really haven't been in lately? And now we're getting a lot of them again because I'm over the target. And the thing is, YouTube wants me to quit. They want me to stop. They're trying to sit there and throw all these stop signs. I don't care about subscribers no more, fucking YouTube. I don't care about hours here. My analytics are all off. Not even close. Not one page matches the other page. My fucking likes, my views go down just as fast as they go up. Okay, I know it's a crock of shit. But I'm going to continue on because you know what? I'm going to show the algorithm what human determination is and how freedom can just drive somebody to sit there and go right through the fucking roadblock. God, the thing is, like, you get these trolls and shit. I'm a Marine vet. What can a civilian possibly do to me that's worse than I have experienced or heard? I mean, these are fucking kindergarten amateurs coming after me. Not even fucking close. Relax. You know, why are we in the position we're in? It's because everybody just wants to be relaxed. What, are you going to relax while they have you on the rack? Are you going to relax when you have absolutely nothing? You know what? I'll relax when our fucking country's problems are solved and I can go retire like the scene behind me where I ain't got to worry about government intrusion. When we get our country back. See, right now we had a saying in the Marine Corps, standing by to stand by. I hated that. And that's what I'm doing, standing by to stand by. But you know what? I'm going to keep staying peak performance. Anyway. Oh, now I'm a fool. All these guys that are so afraid of her words, that words hurt them. See, that's why they come out with this, because they don't understand somebody that it doesn't bother. When you can sit there, like I say, that guy who called me a fool, all you got to do is get a gun. It don't got to shoot bullets. It can just fucking yell the truth at them, and they're going to be cowering in their fucking corner going, please stop! It hurts too much! Okay? These liberals are so fucking tough. I haven't seen one of them, make a video or nothing like that. They cower. Fucking cowards. And me be having my face on here saying the shit I do. Do you think I'm going to cower before you? Think I'm going to cower before any man? Really? And do you think anything you say is going to change the way I feel or think or my, the way I view life, anything? No, because you all hate each other. But hey, I'm glad we got the trolls here. That means I'm over the target. That's what that means. Anyway, and then this Minnesota, the fraud's all over. It's in every state. Okay, and I guarantee you California is probably worse than Minnesota because they got more people and more money. You got Oregon and Seattle. It's in Texas. It's everywhere. New York, everywhere. Okay? All of our money is going to Somalia. Our government's too fucking big, and it's involved in too much shit. Okay? If it was just would sit there and concentrate on what its job is, to secure our borders, ensure the safety of our money supply, and make sure we can pursue our happiness without intrusion from anybody or the government, if they get down to that. But the government's so bloated now that it's so easy for scam artists to sit there and just scam our tax dollars. I mean, this is the thing, right? If they're giving rebate checks, why would they send a rebate check to somebody in a different country? What, the computer can't pick up on that? I mean, really? They can't pick up on that? No, because they're too big and bloated. Nobody fucking cares. And half the people that work in government are working with these people to rip us off anyway. Starting with the politicians. Whew. What allies gave dollar standards? You are losing a whole soft power empire. You will lose both the Pacific and Atlantic and the Arctic. This empire, the United States empire, is on decline, okay? I'll be dead straight up honest with all you foreign countries. You guys got young men in your country that can serve in the military. We got young things that can't. I mean, well over 50% of our population in men can't even pass the physical, let alone the written test to get into the military. While other nations have been making young guys and the men in their military, well, we know what we've been doing. Anyway, I want to say something about gold and silver real quick once, so I got everybody here. If you like the content, please hit the subscribe, the thumbs up, and the bell notification, so you get notified of everything. But let's get into silver and gold real quick. Right now, silver is, it's over. I think it's over 82 now. It was at almost 82. I forgot to look at it when I came on. But it was, close to 82. And gold is staying steady, if not going down. And I'll tell you why. You got these big guys that are selling off some of their gold to buy silver. And people wait, why would you do that? Well, it's simple, okay? If they keep the price of gold the same, right? And they sell, let's just say 1 ounce of gold they sell, and they get 50 ounces of silver, right? And at that 50 ounces of silver, that silver's going up $7, $8, $5 to $10 a day. So on that 50 ounces of silver, they're making, instead of making the 30, 40 bucks, or gold staying the same, not making nothing on it, they're making, $250 to $550 a day on those 50 ounces of fucking silver. Okay? And then once the silver market peaks or starts going down, then they'll sell some of their silver to buy the gold back, because gold will have pretty much stayed the same price. So they'll have become worth more, if you get it, worth more, and they didn't spend a fucking dime. That's why gold prices are staying the same. Anybody want to bet me on that? The gold buyers are using silver now to make money, stabilize gold, so when silver starts going down, they can cash out their silver and buy gold at the same price they sold it for. And instead of buying, only get to buy 1 ounce of gold, they'll get to buy 100 ounces back. Shut your man, please. But that's what's going on with the gold. That's why gold's not going up. because they're trying. These son of a bitches know every trick. But see, I'm a stupid fool, so I really don't know what's going on. It's easy as pie to me. What would you rather make? $250 on or $500 a day on your fucking gold, or fucking $40 a day? Pretty easy to me. Anyway, that's just my theory, but I got a feeling I'm right. What do you think, J99 and Sonny? You think I got that right on the mark there? I think I do. Because the silver, if it goes to 15-1, gold to silver ratio, what it should be, silver is going to hit $300 an ounce. I'm not going to say $300 an ounce, but I can see it easily going over $200 an ounce. Okay? And, like I say, with the formula I just put out there, boy, these guys can sell a few ounces of gold and make a shit ton of money on silver and then sell it back and buy their gold. You don't think somebody that sits there and deals with gold and silver hasn't figured that out yet? Anyway, I know, but I'm just a dumbass fool. Just a dumbass fool who's done a lot of his time in my life watching and observing, especially human behavior, especially since I've seen so much negative part of it. Okay? That's what's going on with the gold and silver. So gold's going to stay steady, silver's going up. And these son of a bitches are going to make a ton of money on it. And then, anyway, we'll see if I'm wrong. But anyway, yeah, this Minnesota fraud thing, it's going through every state, like I say. When we all of a sudden, and this is only the fraud we know about, but it's the hundreds of billions of dollars. Do you think the American citizen may have a right to want to kick these fuckers out of here? Sick of it. Tim Walz doesn't end up in jail. What can I say? We live in a world where everybody knows what the crimes are, but it determines what your position is in society, whether the law enforcement sees it or not. Okay? All I know is Nick Shirley went there and exposed the whole fucking thing, had that one guy with him that was showing these people how much money, down to the dollar, that they got for that year, for having an empty fucking building. And the cops go there, blind as a bat, can't see any scam going on. Nope, I don't see nothing. What, there's daycares here, never been a child in it, and you got $2 million in aid? I don't know. In that one restaurant saying it gave out 91 million meals? I mean, you know how many truckloads of food that would be? That'd have to be a truckload every hour, I bet. See all this shit, and they just, okay, makes sense to me. But then again, like I say, they make videos about how they're going to take us over and how they're going to fucking kick our ass. You hammer once in a while, you hammer all of us. Bring your shit out here, bitch. Okay? You can intimidate a bunch of white fucking liberals in the Twin Cities. Go up to Morrison County and try that shit. Go up there. Try it. The sheriff will take care of it right on the border. We had a sheriff like Sheriff Grady Judd in Florida, but it was the reddest county in Minnesota. But they got to sit there and hang around victims. You know, the whole time I was in Minnesota during COVID, the whole time, I never wore a mask, never social distance, never fucking took the food, never did none of that shit. Went the opposite way the arrows in the store, right? Not one fucking liberal ever challenged me. Not one. I could never get one of the pussy-ass bitches to stand up to me. All I did is when I walk into Walmart, you know, the door greeter would, sir, you need to, and I turn around and look at them, give them that look, and they'd shut right the fuck up, never even finish their sentence. I still need to do my my video on the Nuremberg Code. And you guys are going to see how many people in our government and all over the world need to be charged with crimes against humanity. Yeah, that's the charge for breaking the Nuremberg Code. Crimes against humanity. Okay? And what the Simon Says, the ordeal, a lot of people broke a lot of laws against crimes against humanity, including Donald Trump. Operation Warp Speed is against the Nuremberg Code. Look it up. 10 principles of the Nuremberg Code. Boy, that'd be one way to clean out our government real quick. If The Hague would start charging the real criminals, but Fauci can't go to Russia now, can he? Nope. What's going to happen there? He's going to be brought up on crimes against humanity. You know why the Russians like the Nuremberg Code so much? I can't imagine why. Because of all the Nazi atrocities that their citizens had to face, medical experiments because of the Nazis. I can't imagine why the Russians like the Nuremberg Code. Anyway, but that's something that's not taught these days. But, I'm going to sit there and take the time and do a good video on that. Good video, so AI can sit there and I can educate AI, and I know the government's watching me anyway. That's quite obvious. And then the government, who's ever sitting there drinking his coffee, can get an education. Okay? I love educating people. I love it. There's nothing better. The only thing better than being a student is being a teacher. Okay? That's the way I feel. Anyway, but I'm stupid, aren't I? This is the thing, people. We're coming down to a world of hurt. And there are very few people on social media that will talk like me. I don't give a shit. It's no money. I don't make no money. Well, I have made a little money on YouTube, but it's not about, nothing I'm going to live off of. It's about getting the fucking word out. Okay? And my channel is growing, no matter how much a YouTube algorithm wants to make it sound like. Nobody wants to watch my channel. Nobody's allowed to comment. Some people can't even hit the thumbs up. I'm that much of a danger to these people. And people like me. But you know what? I don't really give a shit. Like I say, you think I'm going to bow down to a beta male? Or an alpha male who becomes a beta male bitch? That's like with these trolls, man. They get in here and they just think they're going to, oh my God, we're going to crush this guy. We're just going to say something that he ain't going to be able to handle. Really? What? The thing is, you got to remember what kind of people this is coming from, too. People that are scared of their own fucking shadow will never come out of the shadows. And if they do, they'll be surrounded by 500 armed men, okay? So, anyway, yeah, that's the deal on Minnesota and stuff. People say, talking about the state citizens taking their states back. Well, that's insurrectionist. No, it's not. How can people be standing up for their rights be an insurrectionist act? The government, this is the thing, people. Our governments have already started the insurrectionist acts against us, okay? The government is of the people, by the people, and for the people. And right now the government is doing everything against the people and all for foreigners. They've already committed the insurrectionist act. We're just the side that hasn't done anything about it yet. God, I'd love to see on the news once where Minnesota State Capitol got cleaned out and the people took over. Like I say, what can the feds do? The feds can't do a god darn thing. The feds can't come in and rescue a state administration that's, fraudulent as hell, stealing from the people. If Trump don't get rid of Timmy Boy, Minnesota citizens need to get rid of Timmy Boy and his cohort. See, the thing is, up in the ranch, I was at the part of Nebraska. Tim Walz's family actually lived in the little town I was from. But you know what? Everybody in Nebraska that knows Tim Walz, including his family, can't fucking stand him. And I'd sure like to know what happened with guy having to run to the doctor because he had a bad stomach ache and they had to pump his stomach and he had a bunch of horse semen in his stomach. Boy, that was a newspaper article, Tim. This is the pieces of shit we have in charge of us. Like I said, the government has no more authority over me. Like you say, Trump don't have to release the Epstein list. He can sit there and tell Congress, fuck you. We're going to do it my way. Well, what law do I have to follow then? I can do it my way. But see, I go through my life not interfering with other people's rights, pursuit of happiness, their liberties. If they were in danger, I'd protect them, no matter what their political affiliation was, or their color, or their nationality. That wouldn't matter to me. They're a human being that happened to be in danger at the time. Anyway, oh, we got some more trolls in here. Boy, keeping my so happy for my moderators, keeping you and Sonny busy. J99, yep, that's what it is. Don't worry. Ooh, over the target, Bombay, doom, 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 doom. You know, I admit I do get a lot of joy on YouTube being able to tell these elite, stupid sons of bitches, even the richest fucker in the world that we don't even know about. You know what? You're nothing but a beta little fucking prick. And when times change, you'll know it. You'll know it. I mean, when the status quo change and there's nothing to lose, when nobody had nothing to lose, so they just lose it. I mean, this ain't going to be like after World War I, when the financiers of that war sat there and, after the war was over, went into the shadows and weren't seen. The real people behind the war. No. Or after World War II, when you same sons of bitchin' families went into the dark after you destroyed the fucking world and got rich off of it. This time, it's not going to happen that way. Okay? Because the world's gotten a lot smaller, a lot harder to hide. So just remember that. We'll turn your bunker into a coffin. That easy. That easy. So the effects of long-term lead exposure, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm a not a casualty. I am this is what happens when you join the Marine Corps and they sit there and send you to other places to sit there and fight for our country. Okay? Sorry. You pussy-ass sons of bitches. All this shit you're trying to bring to this country, I hope you're able to deal with it. I hope you're trained and have the ability and the experience to deal with it, because I bet you don't. I do. Life's a bitch. But anyway, maybe I was eating lead-based paint as a kid. I don't know. You know, how am I even still alive? Hell, we had lead-based paint. We had a lot less cops. I didn't have to be in a car seat or wear a seatbelt. I mean, we didn't take 1 million fucking vaccines. How am I still alive? According to the way we live today, that would almost be impossible. Anyway, I tell you what, these people, like I say, their insults are even lower grade than they are. So anyway, but yeah, Minnesota, take your fucking state back. I think the Minnesota residents are well within their rights to kick the state administration right the fuck out of there and then throw them in jail. Boy, wouldn't that be a message to the other states? California, I'm sure, would be next. Actually heard some YouTuber from California that talk kind of like that. Anyway, the time's coming, people. Like I say, we take our states back, the federal government no longer has power. None. It would just dissolve. Like I said, we may have to become 50 independent countries at first, and maybe we won't even become the United States again. Whatever it takes to fix the goddamn problem. Whatever it takes to sit there and get this evil out of this world. Okay? And we can build up from there. Be a lot easier to build up from the ashes if we take care of the evil before that. Because we don't want the phoenix to rise from the ashes and be just as corrupt as what burnt down. Yeah, that's the thing, Sonny. That's the thing. These people are miserable. And like I say, you see the way I live, and they can be fucking pissed off at that. Well, that guy's free and happy, like that video I did yesterday about me working. That's how I spend my days. Nice and relaxed and free. But there's some people in this world. See, the thing with freedom is it comes with personal responsibility. Like I say, our founding fathers gave us freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They didn't give us government entitlements. They would rather us had that. Knowing that, a person, can spread their wings and soar with freedom, rights, and your pursuit of happiness, and your wings are clipped with government entitlements. But now, for some reason, our government thinks it's based on government entitlements and being spent all of our money. This ain't the government's money. The politicians never spend their fucking money, even though they become mega rich. Like after 5 years when Marjorie Taylor Greene increased her wealth by 3,500% in 5 years. They're not spending their money. They're spending ours. You have to work harder. Your taxes got to go up. Oh, the government's found a new way to spend money. Oh, we saved it here. Instead of us getting a tax cut, they just spend twice as much somewhere else. And this is one thing I want to get into about them money printing. Okay, the short I put out today, or from a year and a half ago. If I start printing money in my basement, if I go into debt, and decide to start printing money in my basement to cover my debts, it's called counterfeiting, right? But if the government goes into debt and starts printing worthless money to cover it, it's called new economic theory. Okay? New economic theory. So that's basically robbing from our unborn. You know how many unborn generations we borrowed from now to sustain our lifestyle? Who the hell steals from their kids to sit there and maintain their lifestyle? And then that not only steal, I hear the parents that get credit cards in their kids as social security numbers and shit, put their kid, just ruin their kids' future. But who does that to unborn generations? It's not only bad enough that all our kids are coming out of college with 6-figure debt, but now we're just the whole system's messed up. I could sit there and go into foreigners in their colleges getting educated and taking the jobs away from Americans that are in the same class with them. Yeah, if you're in a class with a foreigner going for an engineering degree or whatever, guess who's going to get priority over that job? Not you. No, not you. Because Trump's going to make sure he takes care of, I don't care what politician's in there, because they're all just as bad. They're going to make sure they take care of the foreigner well before they take care of you. Can anybody say that's not going on in this country? Of course it's going on. Anyway, yeah. So if I print money in my basement, it's counterfeiting. They print money that's worthless. It's called, new economic theory. But don't worry. The thing is, are we all this stupid? All that fraud in Minnesota, that's just in Minnesota. We don't even know about in all the other states. This is phenomenally big. It could be $1 trillion fucking dollars. $1 trillion. And I guarantee you there's terrorist groups in Somalia that are drinking it up. Well armed now. We think we have the choice when we vote. Voting it doesn't matter no more. It doesn't matter. Okay, they're all fucking liars. Okay, when George Washington comes up again, okay, and this is another thing. Why would I voting for somebody who doesn't even know what form of government we have? Any politician that says we're a democracy does not know our form of government. We're a constitutional republic, okay, with democratic principles. So when they say we're a democracy, they don't even know what form of government we have. Okay, don't you like in this country now? Now we're dealing with the mega democracy. Yay, mega! I love your democracy. No, I fucking hate it. And then when the donkey's in charge, ooh, we got the liberal democracy. Yay. Okay, see, that's the thing about democracies. There's more than one. Because you get somebody else in charge, they think differently. With the constitutional republic, it don't matter how they fucking think. They got to follow the rules. Repeat a lie enough and it becomes a truth. Oh, I know. They are taking the Goebbels propaganda book and went crazy with it. And this is why history is repeating itself. It's so obvious. I mean, I realize I'm a history fanatic and a history student. The reason I would never go to a history course in a college campus is because I know more than the fucking instructor. Okay? And it wouldn't be a good sight. But it's so obvious. Just like if you look up the Weimar Republic, you always used to wonder why anybody would have brought Hitler into power, how he could have gotten into power and took such control of Germany. Well, study the Weimar Republic and the sickness that culture they were trying to force the German culture to accept. Need I say the same shit that we're forced to accept now? They tried to force us to accept now, which gave Trump a lot of popularity. Like I say, it was the LGBTQIA plus retardation that put Hitler into power. That's what did it. First sex change was done in Germany in the 1930s. By the group of unique individuals. Here, where do I got that? It was a fucking gay fuck as hell. God, where do I got that? Alfred Brand, founder of the Community of Unique Ones in Germany in the 1920s. Okay. Yep. It's amazing how history, this is kind of pisses me off too, because this is history that I wasn't taught in school. Like I say, I wondered through so many years how Hitler ever came to power. How? Because the LGBTQA tried destroying the German culture, and the Germans had had enough of it where Hitler looked sane to them. That's how bad it was. Yep. Same shit we're dealing with now. Like I said, I need to do that video on the Nuremberg Code. When this all goes down, I mean, there's so many charges to bring against the leaders of our countries. Like I say, Trump is guilty of crimes against humanity with authorizing Operation Warp Speed. That is against the Nuremberg Code. All medical stuff must be thoroughly tested and experimented with. Thoroughly. Yeah. Anyway, but like I say, it'll be an interesting video. But I'm sure that one won't get a lot of play time either. Because like I say, the last thing they want is some simple man, stupid man like me making any sense. Last thing they want is some Democrat going, hey, I can see where that guy's coming from. And all you Democrats say, ha, 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 look what you got with Trump. Like I say, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz would have been better. I mean, if you can say that with a straight fucking face, you are full of shit. Okay? Wings of the same bird, people. Wings of the same bird. Yeah, I'm going to do that video this week. It's supposed to be in the 50s this week, but I Like I say, that video may get my channel canceled. So after I do that video, if I go away for a week because I get a strike, that will be why. But that just shows you that it's the truth. I mean, if it's not dangerous, then why are they putting a black label on it now? Yeah. Black label on a Simon Says vaccine. Sounds like there wasn't a little truth. Oh, and another thing that the 10 points of the Nuremberg Code is that all side effects must be given to the people who are going to take be the first guinea pigs. All of it. What is it? Didn't they seal that information for 75 years? I'm telling you, I do the Nuremberg Code. It's going to upset a lot of people. But the thing is, this is why you need to study history. Okay, and the Nuremberg Code was adopted by the U.S. It was pushed by the U.S. too. So anyway, how times change after, let's see, that was 1947. How times change after 80 years, huh? Anyway, but we'll get back to that thinking. Two sticks, absolutely. At first, and for a while, I wasn't mature enough to see it the way, so I speak. Now I do. This is the thing, people. We all, I heard some stupid study about how we're physically mature by our early 20s and we don't mentally mature till we're 60. Well, I would say we don't ever mentally mature till the day we're gone. I mean, we keep getting wiser. I mean, Sonny, I don't know, you must be in your mid-20s, right? You're probably 25, maybe not even that old. Maybe I'll say 25. Okay, I'm 58. This is what I tell my kids. You think you know everything? What you know at 25, all the information you gathered in these 25 years you've been living, add another 33 years onto that, and imagine how much wiser and smarter you're going to be. Okay? Maturity is just something that keeps going on until you become the wise man sitting on top of the hill. And he's still getting wise. He's watching everything getting wise. See, a wise man observes. I always can tell people, even if you don't think I'm paying attention to everything. I observe a lot. Anyway, oh my God, I've been over 50 minutes already. How fun is this? But you know what I'm saying, Sonny? You got a lot. I mean, at least we all started out on the right track instead of on the wrong track. And you got these 50 and 60-year-old people that, are just lost. I don't know what to say about it. Anyway, I still had those notes about old Alfred there. Okay. Oh, one small thing I want to add to this live stream, the short I put on about, people, if you're against the Second Amendment, that's fine, your opinion. But you need to thank somebody that exercises their Second Amendment rights to give you the right to have an opinion. Okay? I love that one. That one's so cool. But yeah, thank somebody. You can hate guns all you fucking want. But we are the ones. Those bastards like me that just won't bend or break. We're the ones keeping the government at bay. Because like I say, we're going down the road of tyranny. Not like Tucker Carlson said, we either go down the road of tyranny or the road of revolution. No. We're going down the road of tyranny. The revolution is a roadblock they got to get through to continue on their road of tyranny. When they're going to hit that roadblock, I don't know. But it's going to be people exercising their rights that are going to protect all these people that don't believe in gun rights. Why would you think that the military and cops should be the only people that have guns? Aren't there enough countries around the world to show you what happens when that happens? Anyway, it'll never happen here. Two Sticks, hey, 1973, glad to see you. Hey, if you like the content, please hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. Anything to help the channel grow, because YouTube does not like me at all. Like I say, just a little guy here in Nowheresville, Nebraska, can be a threat to the elites. A threat. Because the last thing they want is anybody to sit there and say, hey, you know that 4 million man, well-regulated, vets to do a training exercise around D.C.? That sounds like a pretty good idea. But we don't need to have that. If the citizens of the states just take their states back, okay? That's all you got to do. Take your states back, expel all the fucking retards. Anyway, need to go bye-bye. Send them to D.C. Give them a bus ticket to D.C. Let's turn D.C. into the new immigrant capital of the world. Don't let D.C. have all these new types of immigrants that are actually invaders, but we'll call them immigrants. Not illegal invaders, but immigrants. Let's send them all to D.C. These fucking white pieces of shit that grew up with white privilege want to sit there and control somebody. Let's let them control the fucking assholes they let back into this country. Australian best example, look at Bondi Beach. Total hopeless people, and their police was super hopeless against the terrorists. All they good for is collection. Yeah, the cops took 10 minutes to sit there and react. And who was the hero there? A Muslim. You know, they're not pushing that. It just shows you there's good people in every religion, okay? A Muslim saving the Jews from getting shot up. That should have been the #1 story. The thing is, that Muslim should have blew that motherfucker away when he had the shotgun. Maybe the shotgun didn't go off, but should have blew him the fuck away. But then again, then he would have went to prison the rest of his life for saving people's lives. You know, you can only have the cops help you. See, out here, we don't have such a mentality. We have 4 cops in our county. We don't have that type of mentality. We call the cops after we settle the problem. Yeah, 4 cops in this county. 3 deputies and the sheriff. And 1 state trooper takes care of three of the area counties, and he don't live in this county. Boy, you think our crime rate would just be through the fucking roof, don't you? Boy, wouldn't it be nice if you could live that free in your neighborhood where you don't have to lock your doors or lock your cars, take the keys out of your vehicle, where your kids could still play in the streets and not be afraid about being kidnapped. Because a stranger comes into this area, they're noticed immediately. Immediately. It don't matter what your political affiliation is here. Everybody watches out for one another because we don't want nothing coming in and interrupting our Leave It to Beaver land. Okay? And go to jail. It was Muslims. He was a Lebanese Christian. Okay, well, I got that wrong. But anyway, he was there before the cops, or wasn't he? Yeah, but then a Christian came to the Jews' defense when the Jews, well, we know what they did to the Christian leader now, don't we? We sure do know what the Jews did to the Christian leader. Yep. Anyway, I tell you what, I sure appreciate everybody being here. You can say, if you like the content, please hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. We got a world of hurt going down. This is fucking, taxpayers been ripped off for probably $1 trillion fucking dollars. We need to get the government out of our lives. If the government wouldn't be in healthcare, we wouldn't have this fraud. If the government wouldn't be in child care, we wouldn't have this fraud. If it was affordable to live in this country, we wouldn't need the government helping us out all the time. All they do is take money from somebody and give it to somebody that they feel is in need. I'm so tired of this shit. Government needs to get out of, they're in our semis, they're in our tractors, they're in our bedrooms, they're in our gas tanks, everywhere. The government's just looking for another excuse to enter into your life and be a pain in the fucking ass. You know what? I'm sick of it. You know who I like here? People who like their fellow human beings. people who, the algorithm wants to know who my content should be directed at. People who like fellow human beings. People who like nature. People like horses and dogs. But definitely not somebody who likes the government. Okay? I do want them to watch because I love pissing them off. I hope there were some Somalians on this channel that I pissed them the fuck off. And I hope you just, we're going to get that guy. We're going to get that guy. Right. Fucking pussies. I'm so sick and tired of being threatened by guys where my fucking biceps are bigger than their fucking chest. I'm done with it. Plus, I may know how to do a little bit of fighting, too. It's time for Americans to stand up. Bring in it. It's time. I know it's time. But enough people aren't suffering yet. Enough people aren't paying enough in taxes and getting ripped off enough to get excited yet. Everybody's too afraid of being called a name because, oh my God, that's the worst thing. Fuck it. Like I say, take your states back. Just take your states back. The federal government loses all power. Any government official, government agency, or government whatsoever wants to fight the will of the people, that shows their intentions are not good for the people. If the people decide to rise up and the government wants to meet them with force, well, they don't quite understand the Declaration of Independence, do they? If a government's got to use force to protect itself, it's a tyrannical government. Okay? And we all know it is. But take your state back, Minnesota. March on St. Paul. Kick those fuckers out. If any Somalians in here, they all got to understand this isn't fucking Somalia. I'm a Filipino. They can do better. They just choose not to. And for that, extradited. Anyway, if you think your country's better, then you can take them. If you think that foreign invaders into your country is a good idea, then you can take them. You can deal with them. Let them steal your tax dollars. All I know is Minnesota taxpayers, all American taxpayers are now supporting terrorist groups in Somalia. And nobody's going to go to jail. Anyway, great world we live in. So anyway, I tell you what, appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate my moderators being here. You guys do a great job. I'm glad when I upset people because it makes them fucking think. If I can get into your fucking brain like a worm and make you fucking think, where every fucking free minute you have, where you ain't busy, boom, I'm in your head right away. Saying what I say, good. That's the purpose. And that's the way I do it. Okay? I want things to fucking change. I want things back to basically they were back in March of 1789, or no, was it March? Anyway, in 1789, when the Constitution was first adopted. I want that mindset back completely. No foreign entanglements. I'm not talking about slavery and stuff. No. We all know what the bad things this country has done and the government has done in this country. So we can fix those problems. But we're still Americans. And I'm tired of being invaded. If you Americans, the rest of America can live as free as we do out here in the city. If I could bring a city folk that's in the middle of this fucking insane asylum out here for 1 week, you would go back with an attitude like mine. You'd be like, these people don't understand freedom. Okay, freedom isn't convenience. The newest convenience, that's not freedom. Okay? And what are you willing to give up? What convenience would you give up to be free? We shouldn't have to give nothing up. No free man should have to give up anything to remain free. Tyrants are the ones who should have to give it up. When free men give up shit, free men give up their rights and buckle and stuff, well, tyrants just take over. Tyrants love to see victims. Anyway, hope everybody enjoyed the live stream tonight. I hope Google did. I hope the FBI did. Appreciate y'all being here. You know, government can see what's going on. Not that they ain't breaking the law as fuck by doing it, but who cares? They need some information to put in these data centers. And I realize that the road to tyranny, if we don't stop it, I will be arrested and probably killed. You know, not too many years down the road. I understand that. But you know what? I'm not going to live as a fucking slave, irregardless of what anybody says. Don't have it in me. Not going to be a good slave. I couldn't be a good communist. Got too much of that freedom-loving thing in me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't need anybody's fucking help. I'm not dependent on anybody to, in any part of my life, for anything. Totally self-sufficient. So I know what freedom is. I've took on the responsibility of being free and finally became completely free. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight. Appreciate y'all being here. This is Tom with Hidden Truths. I'm out of here.